share it. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Mayegun today, Mayegun is live. So if you have done that already, thank you. Now, tonight, we shall continue to review the happenings in the contraption and the active players in the happenings in Nigeria. So, yesterday, it was the turn of Kwakwanso when he also hosted his own members or supporters to discuss the future the future of northern Nigeria under Tinubu. And according to him, it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that Tinubu and his handlers, they hate the poor. And it's becoming obvious as well that the poor also hates them. He, being the leader of the Kwakwanso movement in Kano and northern Nigeria, is considered the movement of the poor. Yeah, the political movement of the poor people in northern Nigeria. And Kwakwanso is a self-acclaimed leader of the poor in northern Nigeria. There are many of them. So in his own address, he said, they have met and they have decided, in his words. And who are those who met and decided? They are the northern politicians. He called them our people. We have told our people to reject Tinubu's tax reform. Even though the same set of his people, in quotes, the lawmakers in Abuja are partly the champion or the champions of Tinubu's policies. They are the rubber stamp National Assembly members whose personal interest overrides the regional interest, at least so far. So the National Assembly of Nigeria, the assemblage of rogues and criminals, retired state criminals who are now retired to the National Assembly, converge in a place called the National Assembly of Nigeria. And they are led by Akpabiole. And Akpabiole has proven beyond reasonable doubt that he is just a pencil in the hands of Tinubu, and he can be used to write just anything and everything that Tinubu desires. And to those, for those northern politicians or northern lawmakers, if the price is right, they are willing and ready to play ball. And as for Kolu, a drug lord whose entire life is about making deals, in all sincerity, he told those who claim to be the northern leaders that visited him, complaining about them being shortchanged in Tinubu's regime. He told them categorically that he paid for this presidency. He bought this seat. And therefore, nobody should, by any chance, nobody should intimidate or harass or threaten him with anything. And he will do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. So he already told them this categorically. As for the northern lawmakers, man, in my own opinion, they tend to be among the overrated buffoons, overfed pigs in the National Assembly, who kind of always have this, this entitlement of, if we don't approve it, if we are not in support of it, it will never come to pass. Tinubu is deceiving everyone, telling them that he is harmonizing the taxes in Nigeria. and the poor people will not be taxed, the rich will be taxed. However, this tax reform is going to help the poor, like the subsidy removal. But the lies there is that whether they are collecting taxes from everyone or they are not collecting it from everyone, from some and not everyone, Tinubu's policies are anti-people. And it is mainly to serve the interest of Kolu and his own acolytes. You know what I mean? His co-travelers. And as for Kwakwanso and others like him, in my own opinion, again, I think some of them are still living in the past. The past when they believe that if Northern Nigeria says no, then that thing cannot happen. I have not seen a single no to all the decisions of Tinubu in the last 18 months that scaled any stage of that debate in their National Assembly. Whatever Tinubu wants or whatever Tinubu wanted, he got. But for Kwakwanso, no, the game is going to be different this time around because Tinubu's tax reform, which we have sort of like deliberated on severally, okay, and a lot of people have shared their own personal view to the Southerners. Yeah, averagely, the sentiment from the South is that maybe for the first time, right, the Northern Nigeria should go and make their own real money and stop relying on the money from Southern Nigeria, okay, which means a lot of them, chunk of them, have grown to become so lazy that all they depend on is the federal allocation. Now, I think this is the same impression that the Northern Nigeria also have, these politicians, and they want to leverage on that. They are telling their people that once Tinubu's tax reform is passed, you see that poverty they are witnessing in Northern Nigeria right now will be a child's play, all right? Like to what is to come. And it is better for their people, in quotes, the lawmakers from the North, to reject it. So in Kwakwanso's words, you see, when they are doing this, right, whenever they want to do something like this, they usually just speak in Hausa. Because they know that, I don't understand Hausa. A lot of us from the southern part of Nigeria do not understand Hausa. So they do this to rile them. Yesterday, it was Bala Mohammed from Bauchi that was telling his people that if Tinubu go ahead with that tax reform, it will cause anarchy in Nigeria. In Hausa, Kwakwanso too. Listen to this.
in ba za su kawo abubuwa na alheri wanda jama'a za su kawo da su ba, sai Allah su tawakkali su kare al'umma su ci gaba da samun kansu a cikin wannan hali mara daɗi, amma bai kamata su yi a ranar da suke zuwa za su kara su bakwai da rabi zuwa goma. Matsalar shi ne ‘yan kasuwarmu ko shakka babu da waɗanda suke kera abubuwa da suke shigowa da shi. In an ƙara 2.5 cikin 100 ya zama 10 cikin 100, inda 7.5 cikin 100 yanzu. To sai ta farashin da ake da shi yanzu a kasuwa sai ya sake nuna. Farashi wanda ininka ba da ƙara albashi za a yi ba, a nan nake gode wa gwamna. An ce a ƙara 70,000. Ni na samu labarin ma sai da ya ɗora ɗaya don a nuna kan da wannan yana da muhimmanci, kuma wannan shi ne bambancin da su da yadda suke cewa su kansu yarinsu mu abin da muke fata shi ne talakawa mutane mabukata wanda ko za ka kashe su ko da za ka ba su za su ambaci talaka domin ba sa tare da shi, ya tabbata su ma talakawa ba sa tare da su. A haka ake tafiya, kuma in Allah da sai mun haɗa kai mun yi jagoranci na talakawa da mutane mabukata a jihar Kano da arewacin Najeriya da Najeriya da baki daya. Jinjiyar shi kaɗai ne zai sa mutane talaka ya numfasa, talaka ya samu kwanciyar hankali, talaka ƴaƴansa su je makaranta, a yi abubuwa wanda yake jama'a za su yi rayuwa mai kyau, mutane su yi addinin su yadda Allah ya ce a yi, kuma a sami kwanciyar hankali da jin daɗi a ƙasa da ba su samu.
God bless you, Jerry Mike. This is how we keep reminding ourselves, we are not one country. We are not one. There's nothing called one Nigeria. One Nigeria is the creation of the political class and their foreign counterparts, pushing the idea of one Nigeria. Nigeria has over 200 different languages, and this is just being moderate. In fact, we possibly have over 500 different languages in that place called Nigeria. If you take English away, and you take the broken English away, the rest of us can be inside the room and we will be talking. We will never understand ourselves. Yes. Uti Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, Igede, Ijo, Irobo, Ishekiri, Nupe, Tifi. Put all of us inside one room and so yeah, start talking to yourselves. That's when you realize that Omo, there's no one Nigeria. So you will need somebody to come and interpret. You see all those European countries and other countries that don't speak English, right? Do you know how lost you'll be? You just be there like. But they want people like that to coexist and remain one under the guise of one united Nigeria. Anyway, I'll come back to that. So Kwakwanso was telling them that the Talakawas, the poor people, are going to suffer more under Tinubu. Their journey towards 2027 is already cooking, like it's cooking like this. And when they are cooking it, it's going to be in their language. Just the same way, Tinubu, when Tinubu is with his own people too, he always remind everybody, Yoruba lokan. And somebody from another part of Nigeria will be like, what does that mean?
Yoruba lokan. Yoruba náà, èmi ló kàn.
Èmi ló kàn. They had to go and teach them how to say that in the north. Say, omi ló kàn. Èmi ló kàn. Me look like that. Say, now it's my turn. It's my turn. Èmi ló kàn. That's the seat they call Nigeria. That's why we call it Nigeria, by the way. So to the Kwakwanso, they're like, Tinubu hates the poor people like he hates you, the Talakawas. And the best thing is that I know that you also hate this government as well. Look at what they have done to you. Once they implement their tax reform, they will cut down, they will cut down the money they give to us in the north. We will not be able to pay the school fee, pay for the education. We will not be able to pay for the healthcare. We will not be able to pay salary. We will not be able to do anything in the north. And it is intentionally, it is their intention to keep the wealth in the south. That's what he's telling them. So would you allow that? No. Would you let Tinubu further impoverish us? No. So what would you do? You must punish them. That says 2027. But as for the Onukus from the south, especially the Lagos Abobakus, they feel disappointed. In fact, they feel betrayed. I have seen some of them lament on social media. You see, these northern people, they are betrayers. Say, what's up, bros? Honestly speaking, man, I can never trust this northern. I say, Kilote, what happened, sir? During the Boko Haram time, even though Boko Haram was destroying Nigeria and all of that, we, Yorubas, who is we? You understand? We say you Ronukus. But we Yoruba Ronukus. We stood by Boko Haram. We defended Boko Haram for 8 years. So you were aware that Boko Haram was destroying Nigeria, impoverishing Nigerians. You were aware, but you defended him. You called your fellow Yoruba Somali. You called them enemies of Nigeria because you were defending Boko Haram Fulani that was destroying Nigeria. So that in turn, you expect the Fulani, the Hausa Fulanis, to come and defend Tinubu that is doing the same thing as well. Tomo. Do you see why I will never pray for any Ronuku anywhere, woman abroad? This is why I will never pray for them. Their level of hypocrisy destroyed, their contraption beyond, like people's lives, livelihood, businesses were destroyed. People were impoverished. Families lost loved ones. Nigeria became the terrorist capital of the world. But these guys were defending Boko Haram because they expected, now that they've had their share. In fact, when some northerners were protesting against Boko Haram, guess those who were attacking them? The Ronukus, the Yoruba Ponus, those Omualele Yorubas. So you knew that Boko Haram was destroying Nigeria. You all knew. And you called us enemies of Nigeria. People who didn't wish Nigeria well to defend Boko Haram. Now they feel disappointed. They are feeling betrayed. That everywhere now in the northern Nigeria, the fake romance between the north, hypothetically, right, the north and the Yorubas, the relationship has broken down. That now the north is now threatening Tinubu of 2027. Remember, these were those who supported Boko Haram to unleash terror on the people of eastern Nigeria, the Igbos. They called the Igbos troublemakers. They said the Igbos hated Boko Haram. Therefore, Igbos hated Nigeria. When Boko Haram said the Igbos are the dot in the cycle, they supported him. So right now, they are crying that the North is conspire against Tinubu. So if they see any Northerner that is saying something nice about Tinubu, come and say something. Thank you, Jare, my brother. Well, God bless you, Jare, my brother. We should talk to your people. Talk to your people. Okay, President Tinubu, it means well. It means well for everybody, especially the Northerners. We stood by you. You should stand by us too. Stand by you. Meanwhile, if you are from Northern Nigeria and you say Tinubu, the drugging call is failing, the Ronukus will automatically come and say, when Boko Haram was destroying Nigeria, where were you? Say, oh yeah, face Arai. So right now, they believe that what they are now doing now is that to make themselves feel, I don't know, the way they are kind of like a coping, they will be like, Ogbeni, Tinubu is not Jonathan. No. If you think you can try anything you did with Jonathan, with Asiwaju Awole, we will let you know that Tinubu is not Jonathan. We will face ourselves. We will just face yourselves. That's exactly how it should be. You, Ronoku, Soya, face the Buhari idiots, the cyber barbarians. Oh yeah, let the cyber barbarians face the bat idiots. Oh yeah, face Arani. 18 months. 18 months. So, Kwakwanso, like many others, that they are indirectly calling betrayers now, okay? In fact, it has gotten to a stage where they are even suspecting some of them. When this Niger presidency accused Tinubu, okay, of plotting to destabilize the region with France, they had to force the hand of some of these northerners in Tinubu's regime cabinet to begin to speak Hausa, grant interview, to debunk it, go back to their region, go and share money, go and tell people, go and call their fast, all the clerics, and try to talk to them and ask them to please talk to your people. We know they hate Tinubu a lot now. His policies have sort of rendered them even poorer. So the promise of a tax reform, which would then reduce what they were getting from, this is true, okay? So it is like, let's say the North is receiving, it's an example, so you can probably juxtapose that with the actual figure if you look for it, okay? But this is an example. Let's say Northern Nigeria, which has 19 plus the Middle Belt, right? Which has 19 states. Out of the 19, I think 12 of them, they are the upper North, the Sharia North, okay? So you see these 12 states, it's like let's say they are contributing 1 billion naira, okay? They are contributing 1 billion naira to the national purse, but every month, but they are taking like 100 billion naira. Do you see that far? That's extra 99 billion because of population every month. Do you see the difference? It's like you are contributing 1 billion. There is no Baba Jebu, there is no payback from your gambling. Not even crypto can pay you that money. Okay. So you are putting in 1 billion and you are taking out like 100 billion naira every month. That's a lot. So with this, their tax reform, blah, 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 it will come be like, say, they are still going to be putting the 1 billion in if they don't work hard. But now, from that 100 billion, it will now come down to maybe 35 billion. Do you see the difference? That's how massive they believe they are going to lose. Even though Tinubu is assuring them that, no, it's not that bad. Even though it's bad, but it's not that bad. You too should kind of work hard, okay? Maybe if you put more in, at least it's not as if to say, yeah, you are getting your 1 billion back. You put 1 billion in. It's not like we are giving you 1 billion. We are still going to give you like about 45 billion. This money is also other people's money. So with this tax reform now, you won't get the 100 billion, but you will still get something. Okay? But still, you have land in the North. Be creative. Try and be very creative, and you can make, you can make more money. And they are like, no, what do you mean? That we should agree with you. From free money, from free 99 billion, you are reducing it to almost like by 60%. No, we are going to suffer. And it's true. And there is no arrangement where 2 or 3 states can match together. So you can just match yourself together and say, we are too poor to have governors driving expensive cars, private jets, okay? Where you have no schools, you have no hospitals, you have no roads. But because you are a state in Northern Nigeria, your governors, commissioners, appointed, they are all driving expensive automobiles and all that. So now that you don't have much money, or you are matched together, okay, and turn some of these states to local government areas. They don't want that. This is what the tax reform means. It's no more money for them. It is less money. And they know it. So no grammar is going to